In this video, an introduction to ICC Affiliate Member, Austria. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This is going to be kind of episode 1 or the first of a massive series of introduction videos to all, believe it or not, 96 of our ICC affiliate members. This is number 1 and I'm starting with Austria because I started with A and I forgot that AR for Argentina comes before AU, but I'd already done the prep, so Austria this week, we're on. So when I think of Austria, what do I think they're famous for? So without any research, I thought it's got to be lederhosen, beers, sausages, mountains. 3 of those were wrong. And actually they're known for the mountains. I got that one right. But also it's coffee culture. And then there's some really famous composers, mainly Beethoven, Mozart and Strauss. Actually, I think it's Strauss the second. That's a lot of composers for one country. But is it actually famous for cricket? Well, no. But is cricket popular in Austria? Nearly said Australia. And overall, I would say, having done the sort of high-level research that I've done, I would say, yeah, and I think it's growing. We've not heard a lot about Austria, and to be honest, that's because there isn't a lot to learn about cricket in Austria. Now, much of the social sort of club cricket, and there aren't many clubs in Austria, but most of it, the vast majority of the clubs, are based around the city of Vienna, with only a handful any further away. From what I can tell, sort of cricket was around in Austria in the 19th century, when the sort of socialites and sort of higher ups would play some form of cricket in their grounds, but then it disappeared. And it was only after World War II when the occupying forces reintroduced cricket back to the country. In 1992, Austria were officially recognised as a cricketing nation by the ICC and welcomed as one of the old affiliate members. However, they didn't obtain they didn't obtain associate member status until just 2017. Now, in the early days, they didn't have a ground or any dedicated space to play, so the national team would often play on used football pitches or hockey pitches until 1995. Now, 1995 saw the Seebahn cricket ground created and became Austria's first dedicated cricket ground in 1995. They had a second ground built in 1997, but the Seebahn location continues to be the sort of headquarters of the Austrian Cricket Association. Just to put things in perspective, I think it's important we appreciate what we actually mean by ground. And if I said stadium earlier, I didn't mean that, because that would give the wrong impression. So that the Seebahn ground was created in 1995. It wasn't until 2000, and get this, that the Austrian national team got their first permanent sight screen. And then in 2001, they managed to build a pavilion. So hopefully we all know that Austria is in Europe, so that's where they play their T20 international cricket. Of course, we have to remember that associate members can only play T20s at an international level. They don't have one-day international status. Generally, to qualify for any of the tournaments, they've got to go through sub-regional Europe qualifiers, and then if they get through that, they've got to go into the regional qualifiers, and it so happens that it goes in 2-year cycles. So we've just had the 2024 T20 World Cup, and in June-July, Austria embarked on the sub-regional qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. They finished third after beating, I think it was France, in the third place playoff, but that wasn't enough to get them through to the regionals. So we won't be seeing Austria in the T20 World Cup in 2026. Saying that, they're not out of the 96 members that currently, I'm filming this in July 2024, Austria sit ranked 48th in the ICC's T20 international rankings. That's one above France and just 2 places behind in neighbours Switzerland. And generally, games will be with other European teams. Well, they are. So Romania, France, Italy, Germany are all sort of the other countries that they would generally play. Austria do have a women's team also, but the men's team is currently captained by Akib Iqbal. That's after, and now I believe now my information is maybe a little bit shaky. You can fact check me on this. I did reach out to the association, but they didn't reply. So the captain Akib Iqbal took over from the current highest run scorer for Austria, and that's Razmal Shiguai. I hope I've said that right. And Razmal scored 990 runs from 35 innings. His records look to have stopped in 2023, where others appear to have continued. And I think from what I can understand, looking at the scores of the recent matches, a chap called Bilal Zalmai is the one to watch, and he scored 477 runs so far from just 13 innings, with a strike rate of, believe it, of 170. So overall, not a lot of history or a lot of information, but certainly gave me the impression from what I saw and what I found out that Austria are a team that sort of like playing cricket, and then they like taking part in the tournaments, and they want to grow, and they seem well organised. In fact, they've got to be an associate member. So that's just a very, very sort of high level view on Austrian cricket. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the association and if they manage to get any more success in the sub-regionals and maybe in the regionals over the course of the next coming years. So what I would say is, if you're interested in learning more about our associate nations, in particular if you want to know more about Austria, if you live in Austria or you're a fan of Austrian cricket, or you're a fan of cricket and you just want to know more about what goes on in other countries, then this is how you can find out more about the Austrian Cricket Association. So I'm going to wrap that one up there for now. That was the first, like I said, of 96 of these. Next week, or before next week, will be episode 2, which is Argentina. So if you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you've got time, leave me a comment. And if you want to sort of stay close to this and watch more of this type of video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for a massive 6. So remember to stay healthy. And if you're in Austria, wrap up warm. And I'll see you soon.